Right, welcome ladies and gents. Got some amazing news. Genuinely amazing news. This broke yesterday. I didn't have a chance to do a video on it. But you read from the title, Jeff Bridges is going to be in Tron Ares. Now this is a film which I'm personally not that interested in. Wait, hold up. I love Tron Legacy. Tron Ares doesn't really capture my imagination massively simply because, one, Jared Leto, I don't really like him as an actor. He is the star of this show. The overall story, I don't really like the sound of it. In my eyes, it's just meh. I don't know. But Jeff Bridges coming back as Flynn is just, yeah, I'm down for it now. Now I'm excited. Now I'm intrigued. Now I'm interested. Yeah. So let's take a look, shall we, ladies and gents? Hit subscribe if you're new here. Turn the bell notifications on. Let's take a look at this. So Flynn will return for Tron Ares. Jeff Bridges is confirming his involvement in the franchise continuation. Now, that to me is really good news. Because there was some rumours that this was going to be a soft reboot. Which is a dreadful idea, because Tron Legacy, don't wipe that from them. Tron Legacy is amazing. I will die on that hill. It is one of the best Disney films that they've made for years. Yes, it's a Disney film, amazingly. They did such an incredible job with Tron Legacy, and it's such a shame that they didn't continue it. So, yeah, great, genuinely great stuff. But let's take a look. So, it says this, a little known fact is that the initial Tron movie wasn't a box office hit. It wasn't. It became a cult classic. So Disney had to write down a portion of the $17 million production cost. And because of its influence on computer-generated imagery and its groundbreaking visual effects at the time, the 1982 movie gained in popularity as time passed. It was a cult classic. There's a lot of movies like this. Blade Runner, for instance. That was a flop when it came out. A cult classic now. Highly regarded, highly lauded. And I think that's why Sony thought to themselves, oh, you know what? We'll come back to this with Blade Runner 2049 and spend way too much money on it. So anyway. So it says over the decades that followed, a cult following formed, which encouraged Disney to greenlight a 2010 sequel, Tron Legacy. Although the movie didn't go well at the box office, it actually didn't do terrible. It wasn't supremely great, but it wasn't god-awful either. So it did attract some devoted admirers. Yeah, I mean, Daft Punk soundtrack was just the best thing ever. That was such a great soundtrack. It says this, with a pricey brand new theme park attraction that just opened in Magic Kingdom, Tron Light Cycle Power Run, which cost a reported $70 million, Disney's looking to raise the profile of the IP with a third film installment. After a long period of development, Tron Ares is set to hit theatres October 10th, 2025. Filming began in January. So, yeah. It's about Ares leaving the grid, coming into the real world. Ares is played by Jared Leto. Annoying. So he comes into the real world, and apparently he's followed by Strong Whammon, played by Jodie Turner-Smith. Jodie Turner-Smith is a model turned actor. God awful. And that's why I wasn't massively interested in it. But there are other people. So there's Cameron Monaghan, he's in it. He spoke to Collider recently and says, I think this one, in a very similar way, is going to really push forward what can be done from a visual perspective. I would sometimes even come in on days I wasn't working because that set was really amazing. A lot of the practical sets were pretty phenomenal. And I would love to go look at those as well. So he was pretty, complimentary about it. But then we got this. So, Jeff Bridges, he anchored the first two films as Kevin Flynn and Clue. And he's just confirmed his return for Tron Ares. So he shared the news via the Film Comment podcast. He said, I'm heading off this Saturday to play a part in the third installment of the Tron story. I'm excited about that. It's wild. Jared Leto is the star of this third one, and I'm really anxious to work with him, and I've admired his work. And then this is just the image. I like the image because, well, that's quite fun to have in the corner there. Nice little sort of nod. I don't know if there's anything really to garner from this as an image itself. Whether there's anything on the page. I mean, it's not really. It just says Jeff Bridges, Tron Ares. But the mask is pretty cool. That's pretty cool, right? And it does say there's on the sides, very, very funny. People are like, totally not him reading the script for the first time. Yeah, obviously not. But I don't know. I mean, look, the only good thing about this is the fact that he's coming back. I think that they needed to reveal this. Someone in the comments, I'm looking at it now, says, isn't this a huge spoiler? Not really, because I think they needed to announce this to get people on board. I don't think people were that bothered about this otherwise. Because, again, you've got things like this. Like this suit is awful. It's an absolutely awful suit that they're wearing. Completely changed so many things. Look at this. Just as an FYI, there is a lot of footage just like this of Jared Leto just wandering around. Like not doing anything else, just wandering around like the set piece, as if he's like, oh, I'm in the real world. A lot of it. But what was interesting about this one specifically is you can see, it looks like he's got a cut on himself. So, what does he get? Battle damage in the real world, even though he's a program? I'm guessing that's potentially what that is. I mean, that's what it looks like. Battle damage. Even though in the real world, and he's a program. I love this cough. Turn damn phone sideways. Get more frame. We'll never ever have to fight with subject to stay in front of lens when he's moving. Amateurs with cell phones. Yeah, I've never understood that. But yeah, this is interesting. I mean, there's not, again, this is pretty new, but there's a lot of footage of him just wandering around. And so I do think that they've had to get people on board. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this was always the plan to have Jeff Bridges back. But this is the only good. That's the only good news. Jeff Bridges coming back. I don't really care about this as a sequel that much. Mainly just because everything that surrounding it doesn't sound particularly great. But Jeff Bridges back. Now I'm intrigued. But it will probably be some lame passing of the torch. Continue the damn story. We had a good story. What do you guys think, though? Let me know down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.